What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you guys having a good start to the week and a good Monday so far. In today's video, we got a little bit of progressive news for some events that are happening during CVC. CVC is going to be happening in about 18 hours from now. I will be streaming a CVC. If you guys are around on YouTube, make sure you guys drop on by. It is going to be a non-personal reward CVC, so we're just be chilling out and just taking it easy. So if you like that vibe, just drop on by. Without further ado, let's jump into the bit of news here that we got for you guys. So, some news about upcoming events. This Tuesday, February 25th or 24th, we'll be launching a progressive event. You'll be getting 15x chance to summon a champion of your choice from Ancients, Primals, Sacred, and Voids. And then here is the pool. It's actually kind of interesting. So on day one, we have Vestel Riverthorn, Prince Kymar, Hilvi the Rime-called, Armanz, Mighty Ukko for the non-Voids, and for the Voids, we have Pontiff, Fighty, and Gurgo. Let's go over the first day's champions here. So there is a couple really nice champions here. I think all of them are really good. But honestly, it really depends on where your account is and what you kind of need. But the newest champion in this list is going to be Vestel here, Riverthorn. I did do some playtesting on this champion, and I will be releasing that shortly today. But she's absolutely amazing. She's absolutely amazing. Make sure you guys check out the showcase on her. I did. She looks amazing, and she is amazing. She hits super hard. She's got over 1700 base attack, which is nuts. Got an A1 double hit, 75% chance to remove all buffs from the target. Goes up to 100% chance to steal all buffs instead, if this skill is used not on this champion's turn. So that's basically like a counterattack, ally attack, something like that. This effect cannot be resisted by targets whose attack is equal to or lower than this champion. So as long as Vestel has higher attack than the target, then she's going to be able to steal all the buffs. And then she has a little bit of built-in ignore defense here as well, based on the amount of buffs that she has. It's a really strong A1. It's really powerful in actual practice. Her A2 also is insanely strong. Single target attack before attacking increases her attack and gives her shatter. Shatter is ignore defense, so she gets 15% ignore defense. Will ignore block damage and stone skin. This is amazing ability. Grants an extra turn if it kills an enemy. If the target survives, fills the turn meter of all allies, not just herself, by 30%. This is a big turn meter boost if she fails to kill somebody, and then she just gets the extra turn if she kills somebody. So you can definitely use this ability, snipe somebody right away, and then get an extra turn. For A3 here, attacks all enemies. Before attacking, places weaken on all enemies. This debuff cannot be resisted by targets whose attack is equal to or lower than this champion. Like I said, she's going to have the highest attack most of the time over most of the enemies because her base attack is high. She's an attack-based damage dealer. And then she ignores 25% of each target's defense. This is unconditional. It just happens. Place an extra hit on enemies whose attack is lower than hers, which is nuts. So it's a double hit AoE most of the time. And then places unkillable and counterattack on this champion. This is on 4-turn cooldown. Both her abilities are on a 4-turn cooldown, but they're really strong. So what you could do is basically open with the A2, kill somebody, and then you'll have increased attack and shatter, and then you get the extra turn, go into a double hit AoE with the weaken, and then you'll have unkillable counterattack. Yeah, and then if she counterattacks, she's going to do her A1, which hits super hard and steal all your buffs. And she has a passive here, has a 50% chance to deal 100% more damage against enemies whose attack is equal to or lower than this champion. So she has a 50% chance of dealing double damage. And then this champion receives 30% less damage from enemies whose attack is equal to or lower than this champion. So this damage mitigation is probably the weakest part about her kit, I guess, because she's pretty low in terms of effective HP. So this 30% reduced damage is probably not going to save her most of the time. So that's probably going to be the biggest knock against her, is that she doesn't really have too much survivability. Like if she doesn't go first, for example, she's not going to have a chance to be able to cheat death in any way. But otherwise, she seems like an absolute insane damage dealing champion, especially for a non-void champion. I love it. I love her aesthetic. I would love to have this champion. She's amazing. After that, we have Prince Kymar from the Demon Spawn. Prince Kymar, very strong still. I mean, you can use him for the reset ability. That's what he's basically known for. You don't really need books for him if you're not going to use him in any kind of team that requires him to use this more than once. He also brings in AoE sleep and strip, which is kind of nice. 3-turn cooldown, and then AoE poisons as well. Big aura in speed battles. Prince Kymar, I mean, you can still use him in a lot of areas, but he's mainly used for his reset ability. to get your teams back up to speed so they can wipe out waves and dungeons and all that stuff. You can get away with him as a 50 with no masteries, with no books, if you're just using him for that role. After that, we have Hilvi, one of the newer champions here from around Christmas time. She was offered as a guaranteed champion for Deck of Fate. I have her. I built her all the way, and she's amazing. Very, very good champion. She's got an A1 decreased defense here, and she has some crazy combinations or synergy with Tormund. So when she uses her A1, Tormund can use his A1, which is wild. And then she comes in with a 3-turn AoE strip and freeze. If Tormund's on the same team, then he will use his big AoE. And then we got a really, really strong 4-turn revive here, giving the team block damage and increased speed. And if nobody is revived, everybody gets a turn meter boost instead with the block damage increased speed, which is very, very strong. Her passive is also very strong. Whenever an enemy receives freeze, this champion will steal a random buff, place HP burn for 2 turns, and then decrease their turn meter by 10. And then Tormund gets additional benefit as well from Hilvi. Speed in all battles here, 110 base speed, good for your, good to build out as your fastest champion, as your strip champion. The thing with this one is that the freeze debuff, has potential to get transferred back to you with like Wand, for example. Also against Mercurial, this ability doesn't really do anything, which really sucks. But she's still a very, very strong general support, general carry champion. After that, we have Armanz. We all know about Armanz. He is, what was he? He's the fifth anniversary champion, and he is absolutely insane. If you have Armanz and he's not built out for your account, you probably need to take a long, hard look at this guy. He's bringing the 3-turn AoE stun and turn meter steal. This will carry you through any kind of wave content. So if you are struggling in any waves, this guy's got you covered. He's got a single target disable with the sheep. Very nice. It's a strip as well. He's got an A1 increased cooldown of a random active skill by 2 turns, which is nuts. That debuff chance goes up to 55%. Yeah, 55% there. He's got big speed in arena battles. He's really good. He's definitely fallen off the PvP meta a little bit because of Wand of Submission, but he'll probably come back once people start taking out some of the Wand of Submissions for different relics. That would be my guess. And also this ability here, because it's a hit ability, it'll take off one of the Mercurial sets, which could be better than some of the touchless CC options out there. But Armanz is very good in many areas of the game. We got from the Skinwalkers, we got Mighty Ukko here, very strong champion still, speed in all battles. He's got the team revive here with block damage, very nice. He's got an AoE strip. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. He also places block buffs and decrease accuracy. I don't like that it's on a 4-turn cooldown. It should be on a 3-turn cooldown, I guess. Because it doesn't guarantee it lands any debuffs, and it's only a 2 random buff strip. So it's not a full strip. So it's not that great of an ability on a 4-turn cooldown. It should be a 3-turn cooldown, but it's still a very strong ability. And then he's got an A1 AoE decrease attack. His passive super annoying at stealing random buffs. He's a good champ, good carry in a lot of areas. He doesn't have like crazy support stats. I think 18,000 HP is not crazy, but he has a pretty strong kit for a lot of areas in the game. So that's going to round out our non-voids here. For the void champions, obviously one of the big draws here would be Pontiff Augustin from the Night Revenants. He is going to be the boss from the event dungeon, and there he is, Pontiff. I did do a showcase on this guy. I really enjoyed playing with this guy. I think the way you're going to use him is similar to like how you would use Armanz or Fabian. He's going to be a disruption champion. You can also build him as your fastest champion. He does bring speed in all battles, which is amazing because you use him in all areas of the game: arena, siege, dungeons. And then what you do is you basically start with A3, increase accuracy, intercept on your whole team. The intercept's going to protect your team from getting CC'd and stuff. It gives a nice big turn meter boost, 25%, and then extra turn. And then you go right into this. You go into a 3-turn AoE strip with a 100% ensnare when fully booked. And then this debuff will ignore block debuffs on enemies under 3 or more buffs. Kind of weird. But here we go. It decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 25%. So it's a big turn meter pushback. If the enemy is under 3 or more buffs, we'll push it back by 40%. So it's a big turn meter pushback. So first you get the turn meter boost and then turn meter pushback. It does require accuracy. All of this requires accuracy, but you do get increased accuracy here. So he's going to be, very hard to stop, especially if he has good amounts of accuracy himself. His A1 block active skills, very annoying, can be very crippling actually. And then his passive here. This one is going to be very interesting because it's super powerful. All allies receive 25% less damage from enemies under block damage. Unkillable Veil, Perfect Veil, Stone Skin. So this basically protects you if you're going second. Each time an enemy receives the buffs or is healed or has their turn meter filled. So this happens all the time. Buffs, heals, turn meter fill happens all the time. Has a 50% chance to decrease the duration of all their buffs by 1 turn. So it passively removes their buffs whenever any of this occurs. And like I said, it occurs a lot. So it's very, very strong. It passively strips your opponent. And his kit is generally very decent, right? He has a turn meter boost. He has some disable abilities. Ensnare is not the best. Ensnare basically just shuts down turn meter boosting or turn meter effects. So it's 100% basically ineffectiveness of turn meter on your enemy. And he has turn meter pushback, turn meter manipulation. It's not the best in terms of crowd control. I would have much liked to see like AoE stun here. But then that would probably be too close to Armanz, or it'd be just too powerful or whatever. But yeah, Ensnare, cool. I really like this. Speed in all battles, very, very strong. You can utilize him in a lot of different areas. He's probably going to be the main guy here for the Void champions. We also have Fighty Tealcrest from the Lizardman. Very strong champion here. He brings the reset for 3 turns. He has the increased resistance Perfect Veil, which is amazing for places like Kymar. But yeah, the decreased active skills cooldown by 3 turns is what he's all about. He also brings block buffs, decreased speed, which is amazing again for Kymar, Hydra, Waves. Arena could work too. Also fills turn meter by 15%. He's got everything. He's got an AoE heal here as well. Not the best aura resistance, but can be useful. It's a little bit different. And then his passive, not that useful, but it's okay. Really cool champion. Would love to have this guy. Lastly, we have Gurgo from the Ogryn tribes. Good champ. He hits pretty hard. Speed, big speed in arena. He's got the AoE freeze, strip and freeze here on 4 turn, and then AoE decreased defense, extra hit against frozen champions, and he hits okay. And his passive here, he has a chance to freeze back, and he gets additional damage against champions under that are frozen. But it basically just cancels out the damage mitigation that frozen champions get against everybody else. His A1 also gives it an extra hit if they're frozen. He's not bad. He can be your strip and CC champion if you need him. I like him. I think he's pretty strong for the Ogryn tribes. So that's going to be day 1. Pretty good lineup of progressive champions. Obviously, if you're chasing progressive champions, the odds of getting the progressive champion is very, very low. You're pulling with base rates, and then obviously if you get lucky with a non-void champion, you're looking at about 7% chance to get that champion. If you're pulling for the void Lego, you're looking at about 15% chance to get that void Lego. So it's still a long shot, even if you get a long shot legendary on those days. Let's move on to day 2. Day 2, we have Cassandra. So Cassandra was the most recent fusion. She is the first Argonite or Argonite. She got a potential 6 hitter on her A1 turn meter, pushback, turn meter increase. Got a big A2 here, a single target hit with decreased defense, HP burn. It can stun if the damage exceeds 50% of the max HP. So that's kind of for like waves and stuff. Cannot be resisted if she's under Veil. Unfortunately, she doesn't place Veil on herself, so she does require some help with the Veil, but it's not necessary. She doesn't necessarily need it. She can build her up with a little bit of accuracy just for consistency's sake. Her A3 is pretty interesting. She does remove all debuffs from herself, heals herself, and gives herself a nice turn meter boost. Gives herself increased attack, shatter, increased speed. So she self-buffs. And then if she has these 3 buffs on, she basically cannot die, which is very interesting. The problem with this ability is, first of all, it's a 4-turn ability. Second of all, it doesn't give her an extra turn, so she can buff herself and then not really do anything. So there's some things about her kit that don't really work. She does have the Assassin's Creed passive, which is a little bit of extra damage. It's basically like a Reaper. And then her secondary passive here. Now this one's pretty good as well. It gives her big attack stat or big defense stat, depending if she's receiving or dealing out the damage. But it only occurs once, and it's not enough. It's not enough to make her like hit insanely hard, even against some bosses. Well, at least not busted hard, but she does do a pretty good job against single target bosses. You have to build her out with damage. That's the thing. She can't really get away without having a good damage build. Because first of all, her stun ability relies on doing good damage, and yeah, she basically only has a single target hit, so she can't deal with waves super well in terms of mowing them down. She does bring a speed in all battles as well, small 19% here, but still makes her a little bit more versatile. I think for faction war she'll be fine, but generally I'm not so sure that she's a great champion. All right, moving on, we got Freyja the Fateweaver from the Barbarian faction. Very good champion, was a guaranteed deck of fate 2 summers ago. She brings a 3-turn cleanse here with the block debuffs, also turn meter boost. Very nice, especially if you build her fast with good resistance, for example, or if she doesn't get debuffed, she can come in, cleanse your whole team, give them a turn meter boost so they can cut in. She brings increased defense with the shield and A2, and then an A1 AoE provoke. Her A1 can actually hit decently hard if you build it out for damage. Her passive also very good. Passively increases her defense, and then her active effect is very good because it protects the champions with the highest crit damage and then gives them a instant turn when that happens. 110 base speed, so you can build her fast, so she can use this cleanse ability or build her fast, and then she can use this turn meter boost ability with block debuffs to protect your team. It's very, very nice champion. Up next, we have Elva Autumnborn from the Sylvan Watchers. Elva, one of the first Sylvan Watchers here. Speed in all battles. She got single target revive here. She got an AoE cleanse and block debuffs, increase speed. Very nice ability here. And then she got an A1 continuous heal. Passives that provide more healing. Also provides Veil. She's a very simple champion, I think, but she works very, very well in a lot of different areas. 110 base speed as well, so you can build her very fast. She can be your cleanser and all that. But yeah, very good in a lot of different areas. So after Elva, we have Pythion from the Lizardman. Pythion, a old fusion here. Where is Pythion? There he is. Here. Big base stats here, 105 base speed. You got an A1, it's got double hit heal. You got a 3-turn cleanse on your whole team. Also gives them some big heals, and the heals will increase based on a number of debuffs being removed. Then places block debuffs on everybody. And then he also brings a 4-turn team-wide revive with the strengthen. His passive is pretty nice as well. It decreases, it decreases the damage. Yes, decreases the damage from enemy skills for each buff on them up to 25%. He's good. He's very good. One of the best, better fusions of all time. Definitely a hard carry if you get this guy pretty early. Team revive, cleanse, block debuffs. Very strong kit and very good base stats, so you can build them up nice and tanky. And lastly, for the non-voids here, we have from the Bannerman, we have Kaja the Wry. Kaja the Wry here, there she is. She was the partner bonus. She was the partner for Timid the Fool, who was the fusion at the time. So Kaja is the better champion. She brings a 3-turn turn meter boost and then partial cleanse. It's only 2 random debuffs, but usually that's enough. Also places block debuffs on everybody. It's not as good as Freyja's turn meter boost with the full team cleanse. So it's kind of like, it's a bad version of that one. She also brings a 4-turn team revive. It is going to revive everyone, gives everyone crit rate and crit damage as well. Now, if Timid's on the same team, they do get full HP and turn meter. That's going to be very important. But Timid's just kind of not that great. But they can be useful together, I guess. But Kaja is more useful by herself. Now, this revive's not really the best because it doesn't really give you a chance to get your turn back. So she revives everybody with half turn meter and then these damage buffs, but then there's no guarantee that you're going to get a turn back. She got an A1 here. Also, it's a little bit of a heal. And then she got speed in all battles here as well. Her passive, all turn meter reduction effects from enemies are decreased by 50% against this champion. So to me, like, her kit is okay-ish, but it's definitely barely a legendary kit, I would say. Like, this cleanse is not great. It's not up to par. And then this revive is not great. It is a team revive for 4 turns, but it's still not great. 112 base speed, though, makes her very, very fast. So you can definitely build her as your fastest turn meter booster, for example. And then come in with a 20% turn meter boost. That could be useful and block debuffs. All right, so that's it for the non-voids. Let's jump into the voids here, and we got some pretty interesting stuff, or at least some juicy stuff here. First of all, we got Cecilia the Red Hope, again from the Banner Lords. Now, she is, where is she? There she is. Absolutely amazing champion. I did a showcase on her. Absolutely amazing champion here. She has the A2 max HP AoE hits, the double hit. The damage will be increased for each ally above 50%. So if you can keep your team healthy, she's going to deal more damage. She also places Veil on everybody as well. This is on a 3-turn cooldown. And yeah, this hits hard. Like, if this is almost the same I would say about the same as Marius's ability, except it's a 2-hitter instead of Marius's 3-hitter. So it hits quite hard against enemy max HP, so she's going to be very good against bosses. You got an A1 here, which heals all allies by 10% of their max HP. This is a big heal. This is a big heal on an A1. And then her A3 is another AoE attack. It places increased defense on everybody, strengthen and counterattack on all allies as well. This one's on a 3-turn cooldown as well. So she can place potentially 5 buffs. You see those buffs? Increased defense, strengthen, counterattack, perfect veil, and then potentially revive on death. Obviously, that's not going to happen very often, but you can count on her for 4 buffs. You can count on her for max HP hits. She has multiple AoEs as well. You can count on her for healing. And then her passive here, she will protect the first ally that falls below 50% with the revive on death buff. And then she also has a passive effect here. At the start of this champion's turn, remove 1 random debuff from a random ally and fill their turn meter by 10%. So it's not, like a blanket debuff removal like Doom Priest, for example, but it targets 1 champion. It removes a random debuff and then fills the turn meter by 10%. As a passive effect, this is amazing. It's amazing. She has a crazy kit. She has a crazy kit, good base stats overall. She's a damage dealer that protects your team and, heals your team as well. She's really strong. After her, we have Galut, son of the pact. Galut is an orc, void affinity. This champion is actually pretty interesting. Like, if you read through his kit, doesn't seem super strong. He places block buffs. Protected block buffs against bosses, which could be very interesting. He does have a 3-turn AoE stun, decreased defense, but it decreases turn meter of enemies without stun by 30%. So if you don't stun, it's going to be a turn meter pushback, so he's guaranteed to at least get something, but it's basically not a bad ability. It's on a 3-turn cooldown, right? And then he has this cleanse ability here on a 4-turn cooldown, cleanse and heal with shield and fortify. 4 turns is obviously a little bit long for a cleanse ability, but he gets extra value from the shield and fortify, so double buffs and a heal. But his passive is very interesting. For every 10 debuffs this champion's team receives, not just himself, his whole team, activates his cleanse ability. When activated, the buffs from the ability are protected. So every 10 debuffs your team receives, he cleanses them off, places a protected shield, protected fortify, and mass heals them. So this passive is actually really strong. In some content, it's actually like busted strong. So the rest of his kit, is fair. It's good. He is a void legendary champion, so you expect a little bit more from him. But his passive makes him ridiculously strong. So just something to keep an eye out for. So that's Galut, son of the pact. And then lastly, we have from the orcs again. We have Raka Viletide. So Raka Viletide here. She's not bad. She has a team revive. She has a speed in all battles here. She's got an A1, a little bit of a healing. She does bring a 3-turn cleanse with increased attack and shield. And she has a block debuffs here that she can place on your whole team without having to revive anybody. So a little bit of flexibility there, but it's basically a pretty standard team revive block debuffs. Her passive, a little bit of turn meter fill. And then at the start of each turn, she also places continuous heal buff on the ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns. So she passively heals your guys, has a little bit of turn meter stuff, has a cleanse, has team revives, a little bit of everything, not crazy base stats or anything like that for a support champion. Not a bad carry, increase attack and all that stuff is not bad. It would have been nice if she had turn meter boost here, for example, or turn meter boost here, for example, that she can cast, or potentially like a big heal as opposed to like these little bits of healing. That's kind of like my only knock against her, but she does a little bit of everything, so still very decent carry. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I will be streaming during CVC or shortly after it starts. If you guys are around, make sure you guys drop on by. Like I said, for these progressive events, it's basically just trying to shake you guys loose of shards. So my advice is always to hold on to your shards unless you have a really, really good reason for pulling them. It's also non-personal reward CVC, so it might be a good idea to keep your points a little bit on the low side. Anyways, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching till the end. Appreciate you guys. Have a great Monday, and I'll see you guys in the next one.